mean girl mindset, which is actually mindset number 3 in the book. And this one's juicy because most of us, whether we've been on a diet or not, can relate to the mean girl mindset. I use mean girl, the term. It's a play off the movie that came out probably more than a few years ago now. But most of us have access to a harsh, critical, somewhat abusive part of ourselves that shows up under duress. It can be some culmination of people in our life that haven't been kind to us, or maybe it's just the voice of our culture, but it's the part of us that is not too nice and can act much like an inner mean girl. You know, when we're trying to change our relationship with food, a lot of times what we see is when we've been on diets, we've been doing it from a place of functioning under the mean girl mindset, telling ourselves we were bad if we ate certain foods, giving ourselves sort of only permission to eat certain things, whether we're hungry or not. That's mean. Having compensatory exercise if we eat certain foods. That's mean. Can you imagine treating a child that way? Can you imagine if a child that you really loved and cared about ate something that perhaps was on your bad list and you told them they had to go run around a track and burn it off? That would be cruel. That would be downright abusive. And yet so many of us do that kind of thing to ourselves. In the book, I talk about what I call, and it's a very clinical term, the jerk boss syndrome. All I'm talking about is most of us who've worked have an experience of working for somebody that was not nice, that a boss that was, in essence, a jerk. Do you remember what it was like working for him or her? It's never a good experience. Typically, we feel deflated, we feel like we don't want to go to work, we tend to feel scared. Working from fear is a horrible feeling. A lot of times, there are people that end up taking little compensatory measures because the working situation is so hostile. So people might take that extra 5-minute lunch break, or they might, sneak the pen home out of the supply closet because, gosh darn it, it's like your boss creates such a toxic situation, you just don't want to play by the rules. Compare that to if you work for somebody who loves you and gives you autonomy and is always giving you support and really cares about your well-being. Oftentimes you want to show up. You want to work extra. You're happy to give to them. It's a reciprocal relationship. Well, when you're working for the jerk, that's when you're being a mean girl and you're criticizing yourself into changing your relationship with food. You're going to see sabotage. You're going to see that you don't want to do the things you're asking yourself to do. But if you can create an inner good boss, somebody that loves you and supports you no matter what, who's really interested in your well-being, then you'll notice that you're more likely to stick to the things you're asking yourself to do. It's kind of like if you wouldn't say it to a child, don't say it to yourself. If you don't create a foundation of love and compassion, behavior will not stick. Because behavior is not linear, as we'll learn in future mindsets. And when it's not linear, we're bound to come on and off. We're bound to go round and around. And we have to be flexible. And we have to create an inner mentor, an inner boss, some part of us, an ego state, that's going to treat us with compassion and kindness no matter what we do. If we don't do that, we're going to end up rejecting our desires, sabotaging our desires. We're going to end up taking whatever behavior started out with an intention that was self-loving, and we're going to turn it into something that is harmful, and we're going to reject it. So when you notice your inner mean girl, it's really key that you turn that inner dialogue around. As I said, if you wouldn't say it to a child, or if children don't work for you, an animal or someone or something you just love unconditionally, then you can't be saying it to yourself.